Okay, this is going to be jury charge really fast. Okay. Ready? You have been selected as jurors in this case. Before you take the juror's oath, I want to remind you how serious and important it is to be a member of a jury trial. By jury is a fundamental right. In a jury trial, the case is decided by citizens who are selected fairly, who are not biased, and who will try their best to give a fair verdict based on the evidence. In the juror's oath, you will swear or affirm that you will decide the case based solely on the evidence and follow the law as I instruct you. You will swear or affirm that you will give a complete and correct answers during the jury selection process, that you are truly impartial, and there is nothing else that I or the party should know about your ability to be a juror. If any of you do not feel that you should take this oath, or if any of you have additional information that I or the party should know, please let me know. You will have an opportunity to give your information in private. I will now give you some important instructions about your conduct as jurors. You as jurors must decide this case based only on the evidence presented here in the court, unless I specifically instruct you otherwise. This means that during the trial, you must not obtain any information or from any source about this case or the people involved in it. The reason for this instruction is that the parties, the court, and the public have a right to know what evidence you as jurors are using to decide this case. If you decide the case based on information that you find on the internet or through communication with friends, this right will be violated. In recent years, because of the growth in electronic communications, an increasing number of cases have had to be retried at great expense because of jury misconduct in obtaining outside information from the internet, blogs, email, electronic messaging, social networking sites, or other sources. I need to be assured that each of you can do everything you can to prevent such an unfortunate outcome from happening in this case. So do not look up any information about this case or the people or places or subjects involved in it from any source, including any public databases, dictionary, the internet, or other reference material. Do not look for information online or use any search engine like Google to obtain information. Do not read, listen to, or watch any newspaper, television, or radio report or commentary about the case. You must let me or my staff know immediately if you or any of the jurors see or hear news reports, comments, or information about the case. Do not discuss it with anyone, including friends, family, co-workers, any subject connected with this case. No discussion means no electronic communication, no emailing, texting, instant messaging, tweeting, blogging, chatting, or posting on Facebook, MySpace, or any other social networking site. You may tell people that you know that you have been picked for the jury and how long the case may take, but do not discuss the case in any other way. If anyone tries to talk to you about this case, tell the person that you cannot discuss the case because you are a juror. If the person won't stop, walk away and report the incident to me or the court or bailiff. Special rules apply to the attorneys, parties, and witnesses in this case. You must not talk to any... I'm just going to stop there. Okay. Oh, that wasn't too fast. It wasn't nearly as good as it usually is. Okay, so I ended there, so I ended at 600. It was about 300 words a minute. No, not really. 300. Margaret, you were right on. It was exactly 300. Man, I got to 400 the other night. Hello. This will be section 4 of our Q&A extension, so this is part 4 of the series. So I'll go through and say, for example, question bank, or question, what's your date of birth? Question bank, A** URB. So, question, what's your date of birth? Question bank, A** URB. Question, what's your name? Question bank, A** URPB. Question, what's your name and address? Question bank, A** URPBD. Question, what's your name, ma'am? Question bank, A** URPL. Question, what's your name, please? Question bank, A** URPBZ. Question, what's your name, sir? Question bank, A** URPBS. Question, what's your name and occupation? Question bank, A** URPBGS. Question, what's your occupation? Question bank, A** URBGS. Question, what's your place of employment? Question bank, A** URPLT. Question, what's your social security number? Question bank, A** URS. Question, who? Question bank, O. Question, who can? Question bank, okay. Question, who could? Question bank, OKD. Question, who did? Question bank, OID. Question, who does? Question bank, ODZ. Question, who have? Question bank, OF. Question, who is? Question bank, OS. Question, who said?
Question bank OBS. Let's go through that one more time. Question bank, what's your date of birth? Question bank A asterisk URB. Question, what's your name? Question bank A asterisk URPB. Question, what's your name and address? Question bank A asterisk URPBD. Question, what's your name, ma'am? Question bank A asterisk URPL. Question, what's your name, please? Question bank A asterisk URPBZ. Question, what's your name, sir? Question bank A asterisk URPBS. Question, what's your name and occupation? Question bank A asterisk URPBGS. Question, what's your occupation? Question bank A asterisk URBGS. Question, what's your place of employment? Question bank A asterisk URMT. Question, what's your social security number? Question bank A asterisk URS. Question, who? Question bank O. Question, who can? Question bank OK. Question, who could? Question bank OKD. Question, who did? Question bank OID. Question, who does? Question bank ODZ. Question, who have? Question bank OF. Question, who is? Question bank OS. Question, who said? Question bank OBS. Okay, now one more time through without me giving you the answer, so I'll just say, and you write it out. Ready? Question, what is your date of birth? Question, what's your name? Question, what's your name and address? Question, what's your name, ma'am? Question, what's your name, please? Question, what's your name, sir? Question, what's your name and occupation? Question, what's your occupation? Question, what's your place of employment? Question, what's your social security number? Question, who? Question, who can? Question, who could? Question, who did? Question, who does? Question, who have? Question, who is? Question, who said? Okay, one more page, and this one isn't as long. Ready? Question, who says, is question bank OBZ. Question, who was, is question bank OFS. Question bank, who went, is question bank OENT. Question bank, who were, is question bank ORP. Question bank, who will, is question bank OL. Question bank, who would, is question bank OLD. Question bank, whose, is question bank O asterisk. Question bank, who's going, is question bank O asterisk G. Question, who's your, is question bank O asterisk UR. Question bank, why, is question bank long I. Question, why was, is question bank AOIFS. Question, why were, is question bank AOIRP. Question, do, is question bank AO. Question, do you, is question bank AOU. Question, do you believe, is question bank AOUBL. Question, do you ever, is question bank AOUFR. One more time. Ready? Question, who says, is question bank OBZ. Question, who was, is question bank OFS. Question, who went, is question bank OENT. Question, who were, is question bank ORP. Question, who will, is question bank OL. Question, who would, is question bank OLD. Question, whose, is question bank O asterisk. Question, who's going, is question bank OG with an asterisk. Question, who's your, is question bank OUR with an asterisk. Question, why, is question bank long I. Question, why was, is question bank long I FS. Question, why were is question bank long I RP. Question do is question bank AO. Question do you is question bank AOU. Question do you believe is question bank AOUBL. And question do you ever is question bank AOUFR. One more time through where I do not give you the stroke. Ready? Use your memory and see how many you can get. Question who says, question who was, question who went, question who were, question who will, question who would, question whose going, question who's your, question why was, question why were, question do you, question do you believe, question do you ever. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second.